Uhuru Kenyatta has ordered containers detained at the inland container depot released after verification.
Kenyatta has also called for verification of importers to avoid tax evasion and dumping of counterfeit goods in Kenya. Faisal Ahmed reports.
4 months now it has been the situation at Nyamakima Trading Center. Small businesses closed down for what traders claim is stock out. The situation replicated along the city where the cadre of business is concentrated. Their stocks the traders have time and again insisted is locked up at the internal container depot at Embakasi. And in a bid to unlock the stalemate, President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his second visit at the depot in less than 24 hours, ordered for a radical shift in doing business.
Tumepata pia ya kwamba shida zingine ambazo zimekuweko ni kwa sababu kuna wengine ambao wanafanya hii mambo ya consolidation, wanalete mizigo lakini wameweka container, wanasema hii mizigo inaenda Uganda, hii mizigo inaenda South Sudan, wakijaribu kuhepa kulipa ushuru. Hiyo ni poa kweli?
The move, Kenyatta says, will ensure genuine traders access their goods. This as he also ordered that the review exercise to be expedited and goods to be cleared within 3 weeks, but with a caution to state officers.
Hawa ambao walikuwa wanajaribu kufanya hiyo biashara ya panya roots tuwaweke kando, tutumie watu ambao ni haki, mizigo ikuje, tulipe ushuru, mizigo itoke haraka, na ndio wananchi waweze kuendelea na biashara zao, si kweli?
Over 1,000 containers are currently detained at the inland container depot, with most of them said to have questionable paperwork. Others are being held on suspicion for holding counterfeit goods. Faisal Ahmed, Citizen TV.
So just a day after the president ordered the verification and release of the containers that are being held in the depot there in Embakasi, Kimani Mbugua returns to Nyamakima and River Road area where businesses have been grossly affected by the government's recent policies.
He now joins us live from Nyamakima. Kimani, what is the mood now and what are traders saying about the president's directive?
Well, Zinzi and Trevor, good morning. I have been here in Nyamakima for the last 30 minutes talking to traders and trying to get some of them to speak to us. And in fact, we bumped to some of them having a conversation about the government, whether the government really is really keen on what small traders are going through. And right now, I'm at Nyamakima, some of the shops who import electrical goods. You can see these are many of them are housed in one building. You will see here at the stages, the Othaya stage, you will see that stretched down there. Most of these importers deal with electronics, things like bulbs, switches, cables, and all of that. And the conversation that we need to have this morning is, have they felt that impact after the president intervened with the controversy at the inland container depot? Well, the customs and the border control officials say that some of these big businessmen or business people will come and import goods and pretend that the goods are going to other countries so that they can avoid paying taxes, and so that was a controversy. But now the people affected are here, the small traders. Now I have one of them with me here. His name is James Mburu. James, karibu. He owns an electrical shop here. He imports goods. Mr. Mburu from Mburu Electricals. Tell us, first of all, how do you import your goods and how do you get your goods to come to your shop, and how is that process for you, and how has it been different in the last few months?
So thank you for having me. Essentially, the process is very simple. We request for goods from China. We pay through electronic transfers, and then we have these goods consolidated into, let's say, one container, because most of us are not able to really do a full container, 20 foot or 40 foot. So what we mostly do, we consolidate these goods depending on what one sells. So possibly we have people who sell bulbs, others have switches. So when these goods are consolidated, we give them to agents who then facilitate the process from China to Kenya. So through the port and through the ICD. So the main challenge has been actually the inland container depot, where most of our goods have been residing there for months and months, causing a really hectic time doing business. Most people are running out of stocks, and you can't essentially run business without any stocks. So very many people are suffering over months and months and months, because some people embark on loans to actually service their businesses. And we find that this experience, there's a lot of hindrances, there's a lot of challenges, so most people are running out of businesses.
Okay. So if I may ask, if I may cut you short, it's since the president intervened with this process, have you guys started seeing a light at the end of the tunnel?
Okay, we thank the president for what he has actually done. The fact that he went to the ICD really tells us that he's committed and is with us with facilitating our businesses. The impact may not be actually very immediate, but we're trusting that through his intervention, things will start becoming better and better. Yes.
Okay, so some of your traders, do you know, I've seen a bit of shops downstairs who had closed, and have you seen some of them starting maybe to reopen in the hope that maybe in the next 3 weeks they're going to have their goods actually come in?
So we are hopeful that through this intervention, people will get their stocks back. Because essentially people closed down because of these stocks, their goods are stuck at the ICD. So hopefully within the coming days, we're expecting that these goods will be released and people will be able to get back to their businesses.
And another question that comes up is, and the president raised this a day ago, that some of these people who import, the people who you guys go through to get your goods coming into the country because you can't afford to get, maybe one person can afford to get a big container to come in, is that these people take advantage of the small-scale traders because they're not very much involved in the importation process. So what do you think you can do from your side to make sure that the people you're dealing with are actually genuine people who are not trying to evade taxes and, you know, kind of, which is going to affect your businesses in a way?
At first, let me say information is power. And the fact that most small traders are not privy to information, that, okay, we understand that there are some guidelines that the government has put in place for us to facilitate a better process in clearing our goods. So what we would actually want the government to do is give us this information. No? When we have this information, when you know there are certain guidelines put in place, things will be a bit easier. Because now these people are taking advantage of these small traders. Apparently, I read in the papers today that these goods, they're saying they're destined for other countries, whereas they're destined to evade taxes. But we want the government to really probably vet these people again. We get people who are serious, people who won't take advantage of our situation as small traders, because actually what we want is to grow. Yeah, so we're hoping the government can first release information, first, and also we be involved in the decision-making process, because probably when they sit down in boardrooms, they're putting up laws and systems that are not getting to us. So I think when there's more clarity about what will be done, the information that is supposed to be there, and we're involved in stakeholder meetings, I think the process can be much better. Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you this last one. And how organized are small traders, you know, to make sure that even when the government is trying to reach out to you, that you guys have a consolidated way of communicating, such that if the government wants to, you know, maybe release this information, it will get to the right people and that nobody will be left out? Do you guys have a union? Are you part of the Importers and Small Traders Association? Maybe to, you know, is everyone in on that, or is that now a different group altogether?
I think this issue started last year, and since last year, before last year, we didn't have such committees and such institutions whereby we can channel our grievances. But of late, we have some certain institutions whereby we are trying to have a unified voice together, so that at least we can combat, we can at least, because essentially what we don't want to be against the government. We want to be part and parcel of the guidelines and policies that are being implemented by the government, so that we can move forward as a business community. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, James.
Right.
I'm going to let you go back to your shop.
Thank you, sir.
Did you have your stock come through, or?
I'm hoping it will be released. So
so part of your goods are inside the depot.
Yes. So in the coming days, we're hoping that we'll have the goods and continue. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you running on right now, if I may ask? What are you selling right now?
Small stocks, but stocks are running out, you know. So we need these goods to come in so that we can continue with the business.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. That is James Mburu, one of the traders along Nyamakema, who actually trades in electronics. And most of the shops in here, some of the traders are not confident enough to speak to us. Some of them are still fearing, but actually have been around. Most of the shops were closed, but they're saying that some of them will be open. As you've had, James says that some of these goods are stuck at the inland container depot, but then he hopes that in the next 3 weeks, as the president said, they'll be back and business will be back on. So that is the situation from Nyamakema. Trevor.